Uade in the building. How you doing, my brother?
Good morning, Olukayode. What did you just say now?
MPC. What does it mean? MPC.
I don't know. I don't do acronyms. Monetary Policy Committee.
Yeah. So tell us about the MPR, the rates. As in, yesterday, it's Nigerians are saying another increment. But again, I heard Biswak Rewani saying that what the government is doing is not too bad. It was actually looking at the fact that it has reduced, is it money flow or money in circulation, or what do you call that? Money in circulation, right? It says that means everything is stabilizing a bit. He said we should look at the inflation rate has actually reduced.
Well, it's not going up.
It's not going up exactly. And it's saying, but Nigerians are saying, really, in my area yesterday, I heard tomatoes now go for 8,000
because of interest rate increase.
No interest rate increase. Not the increase. Well, I was announcing yesterday that I heard it's now 7,000. Then yesterday, someone for a pint of tomatoes.
People as if you buy paint. Wow.
And yesterday I heard it's now 8,000. So I'm wondering, as in, when will food inflation drop, please?
But so when you compare March to April, it actually did drop. So the rate of rise in food inflation dropped between March and April.
Okay, so for explanation, before my listeners come at you, you said rate of rise, which means if it was
of food inflation.
Yeah. So I mean rise. Yeah. So which means if it was growing at, let's say, 10%.
Let's say if it grew by like 0.5% in March, April, between February and
March,
March, between March and April, it dropped. It went by about maybe to about 0.3.
Okay,
I don't have the full details in my head because this is one that you're asking me all these questions.
No, because Nigerians will be.
I came to talk about everyday money matter.
It is every day.
Yes, and
it's how to buy rice.
And I agree, and that's why we want to tell Nigerians how we can try.
Yeah. And to prove to Ogieva that you can actually spend 2 million, I ordered for rice. I went back there, Ogieva. Morning to you, by the way.
It's almost 100 kilos.
That's what I'm telling you.
The price of rice has gone down.
It's gone down to 70 something in some area. But I ordered for rice from Abuja, 60. Everything arrived in Lagos at around a little below 70.
I don't understand. Which transport? Well, how many days?
2 days.
Logistics.
One
bag of rice.
One bag, a bag was 67.
And how much was the logistics cost?
The logistics was around, was it 2,000 or 3,000?
Please show me the way.
I will show you the way. Man, 2 million. I will spend 2 million and be a big boy. I'll buy tickets for people to go and laugh.
You won't eat rice for 2 days.
Let's hope the rice, the logistics. The logistics
the lorry or whatever doesn't
fall off. The rains have come, flooding,
traffic.
You will get here. So you order ahead. Order 1 week.
Maybe you come through the new highway,
Lagos.
Good morning, guys. Good morning.
Good morning, Lagos. It's great to be here.
So
what are we talking about? Well, today is not. When I saw this your questions yesterday, I was like, building wealth from ground up. I don't know where we want to build.
In relation to the Nigerian household.
In relation to the Nigerian household, in this one, you get all the things you said in the last 2 minutes. How are you going to build this world?
When after the rice comes now. Well, it's true now. Okay, so I mean the first one goes. Okay, first question: how do financial decisions, reflect your family's values and priorities?
So your financial decisions have, this. I'm always looking. I always try and think, and when I look at Nigerians, last week we were talking about, can you live on 2 million?
Yeah.
And those are some of the things that we need to start to consider as values and priorities. What are my values? Is it to get decent accommodation? When I say decent accommodation, one that you can afford, or is it to live a life of luxury that you can afford? And those then help you help you decide what your priorities are. Should my children go to a nearby school where they can, every morning they can walk there, or I can just walk down with them and drop them, and the cost is not as high as wanting to go to one of the expensive schools, all in the name of trying to, I don't want to use the word, or trying to feel that, oh, that's where I should be, or because of the interactions you feel, you might be able to, or the connections you might be able to get. So priorities become necessary, especially when you look at your earning capacity. Earning capacity is a major aspect of determining what your priorities are. But your values come from how you think and what you think are the basic necessities for you to be able to decide, this is how I want my standard of living to be. No wastages, and when there are no wastages, and when you look at your income level, whether you're employed or you're self-employed, then that becomes a major criteria. And then what kind of savings habits do I have? And that's really necessary. Some people will tell you that cost of things have gone up. Then you now start looking at, like I said from the onset, what are the basic necessities? Food, shelter, clothing, education, health. And if all those things you can get them at the barest minimum, do NHS, basic minimum.
Buy your rice from Abuja
and let it take 2 days. Maybe they would have completed the highway, that kind of thing, and it can come in less than 12 hours. But as we go on, that's basically how you should look at your values will determine your priorities. Do I want to groove every Friday, Saturday and Sunday, or do I just want to groove on Friday and then sleep Saturday and Sunday? Should I be watching is it, what do you call it, cable?
Yeah, cable channel.
And I don't want to call it, I'm not doing free publicity for
cable channel.
Cable channel. Or should I be watching streaming? Which one is cheaper? That's all those things count, because sometimes with
should you even
the
be
money
watching
you
anyone
pay,
at all?
Well, that's another
if
issue.
you don't stay at home,
you
need to weigh all that.
But you also have to weigh the fact that if you have kids, you need something to keep them
I
company.
think we're even answering the second question already. Like,
So
that
that means we went to school.
Yes. Money well spent.
Money well spent. Thank you, my father and my mother.
So, practical steps Nigerian families can take to create and stick to a household budget. So I think we're still
someone like me now, intermittently, maybe when I have extra change, I'll say, okay, for football season, and there's like during the Nations Cup, so I subscribed 1 month. I watched Nations Cup. It ended. Nigeria played final. We lost, but that's unfortunate. But like I said, but now I pay the amount I pay for 2 streaming channels.
Is enough.
But it's less.
It's one. Is it 1/4 of the price I pay for cable? For the cable,
exactly.
Not full. The one that
beginner level,
the level that at least you can see one or 2 football matches in a and the irony of it is that these matches are usually at the weekend, but also you cultivate the habit of watching Nollywood. You are promoting them, bringing more money into the system, and all. That's one. The other thing, like I said, wastages. Some household where you have 2 or 3 children. They say, "Oh, me, I want to eat noodles. Me, I want to eat rice." But as the rice hasn't come, it won't come for 2 days. Then you have to look for eat noodles. No, but we need to. And I know, growing up, my mother will tell you, it's the food that they cook for you that you eat. If hunger never wire you. But some people say, "Oh, but he doesn't want to eat." Leave him. When he's hungry, we eat it. And those are the things. These are the things we need to build back into our systems and let people understand that. Yeah, sometimes you go the extra. You make the jollof rice or you make the fried rice, but basic necessity. If it's gari that you have and you can make eba, make the eba and eat it. Except maybe the child doesn't. Maybe the soup or something. Does one or something to. But we need to stick back to these values. Like I said, also in terms of education, I earn $1 million. I earn 2 million every month, and then I want to be paying one child's school fees at 1 million and I have 4. So you now start to wonder Why? What are the basic things you want your children to get out of education? Good environment, good teachers, ease of learning, ability to live in today's times of technology, and so on. I was watching something, I think a couple of days ago, and one guy was saying keep all these phones and phones in particular out of the hands of children. Today you can't do without your kids having a tablet or you having a computer at home, because a lot of their assignments, I don't know who is going to school, whether it's the father, the mother, or the child that is going to school, and those kind of things. So you need to manage all those things. Why buy an iPad when you can buy another tablet that is less expensive, that will provide you the basic necessities for the child to be able to do homework and stuff like that. So in keeping with that budget, cuts away luxury. I remember one time one of my cousins, when she was growing up, she didn't like to eat Nutrient as a baby. Preferred Cerelac, but Cerelac, the price of Cerelac was almost 1.5 times the price of Nutrient. And so my auntie now decided that since she don't want Nutrient and I can't afford Cerelac, sorghum.
Okay.
And that's what she fed on. And then they will put 2 scoops of peak milk had just come out. And then instead of SMA, you put peak. If you when hunger wire is, like I say, you eat it. And these are realities that we're facing. MPR 26.5. People borrowing money now. It can be, when you add all the effective yields and all the things, it can be on the average maybe like 30%. So how do small businesses survive? How do small families survive on that? If you don't have to borrow money, then don't borrow.
I think it's adding to what you said, like you can track all your expenses a month. You understand, to understand where your money goes.
Open that small exercise book.
Exactly. Categorize your expenses into needs.
Into needs. Not wants.
Not wants. Yeah, exactly. Set your clear financial fees and all that, like you said earlier on. Using budgeting tools and apps if possible, and review your budget regularly, and just adjust as necessary.
Yeah, so just to add to what Ogieva said, I think your first budget tool should be that small exercise book that you do on a weekly basis. How much did we spend? How much do we have? How much were we planning to spend? Did we just do one day and do extra? And then you move on to Excel. So if you don't know how to use Excel, go learn that too.
And if you're tech savvy, just find an app.
But that one also costs money. Because if you have laptop,
there are some free apps
on your mobile phone.
Okay, now you see, we are beginning to tell people look for free app. It might have advert, but don't worry.
You manage it.
I tell you, it's just a couple of seconds.
And I must even confess, I downloaded. Talking about this, recently I realized that I'm getting too broke too quickly. So I want to monitor my money.
You have to really.
So I got an Excel sheet. I went online, searched for one that did all the Excel. I just input the figures, I change the subject, and it does the calculation for me and all that. And I look at it and I'm like, okay, this is what I spent on. I won't try this again next week. And I just remove it. And so it helps me to know. And like you said, the advert, there's this something sheet at the top of the Excel. I don't mind. Occasionally I mistakenly click it and it takes me online. Don't worry,
I'll go back.
Go back. That's it.
And the way you explain it it becomes so glaring, when you can actually see the unnecessary. Once you put it down, you can see the excesses. And you're like, why? How?
Yeah.
So
and even in reality, there are times there are no excesses, but you need to find something you will cut.
You find it, yes.
There's no excess.
And that's true. And so let me also speak to parents who like to say, I want to groove on Friday. One of the best things that you can also start doing now is, if you have plenty friends, all of you pick one Saturday or Friday for each person. One person will buy the chicken. One person will bring the amount of money you
can't live on 2 million.
You can't.
And still you can't live on 2 million.
You see. Because so you can live on 2 million. That's why he's now.
Sometimes I need to buy the rice immediately. I can't wait for 2 days.
So at the end of the day, hang out in your bonding. These days of work Monday to Friday, Saturday, Sunday, find time to bond with friends.
Make new friends. Like one of the guys that bring me said, he said one of the guys in his area, normally when he closes from work, I mean, they'll go to town and just spend money. Hardship. The guy who closed from work, drive home, call the guys in the area. Drinks are cheaper in the area compared to the bars. He has friends in the area. All 5 of them just come and they drink. He still spends all the money, but it's way cheaper
than what
he spends out there.
Exactly. So
believe me, it's way cheaper for you to buy a bottle of whiskey. And 5 of you come with 1 bottle of whiskey. You can't finish that 5 bottles in that day.
What we even do, we just get maybe gin, right? Then
barbecue,
dish it with fruits, pineapples, cucumbers,
so that you minimize it. When you look at these things, by the time you all sit down from 9 p.m., 10 p.m. and it's 2 a.m., the irony of it is that because you are in a friend's house, just catch one couch.
And you're done.
And at 7 o'clock in the morning, your eyes are clear enough, and then you can go home. So the other thing about, we're talking about the kids and money management. You need to let your children understand that it's about needs and not wants or has. That's very, very important. I remember my kids growing up. I remember my kids growing up, and then 1 month, usually I'll buy 2 cartons of Capri Sun, 1 for school. I've told you this story before now. 1 for school, 1 when they need to go out at the weekends, or you're going to church on Sunday, so you take 1, and it's not. After like 2 weeks, my wife called me. I was in the office. Like I said, they don't vex me for office that day. Says, they say there is no more Capri Sun. I say, there's biscuit. Okay, don't worry, they will drink. They have water bottle. Drink water. So for the next 2 weeks, he said, I won't buy. I said,
we've maxed the budget.
80 packs of Capri Sun.
You finish
in 2 weeks. That's supposed to last 1 month.
Those kids
it's calculated now.
Okay,
you just come back from school. Put it aside because you are not at home.
They have a wealthy
these are
father.
Things. Oh yeah, like your kids there. Go to your father's house.
Go to your father's house.
But they have a right, but me too, I have a right, and the right is in my pocket.
I think
and for people who say, they have cards that their kids can, kids will buy anything online when they want to play a game, and let them understand that
you need parental control, or else
serious parental control.
They will end it,
and let them when they start to earn the money. Adulthood is a scam. They don't understand. When we were younger, you say, my father didn't do this, he didn't do that. At the end of the day, when you become an adult, your kids are, oh boy, I know what I used to ask.
I
think so. I mean, to add to as in teaching your children, right? I think if you can give them a small allowance, do you understand, and just encourage them to save a part of it. You can also involve them in family budget discussions. Obviously, the age will determine how they can come into family discussions.
Children are smart now, like smartphone.
Exactly. So you can also set up a savings account for them and explain how interest works.
Very important, and education.
Teaching them different needs and wants, which will align with what we said earlier on, and encouraging them to.
So is that to say you want them to do better than you? The opportunities you didn't have to learn about savings when you were younger.
You
want them to start early.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
My younger daughter is an expert there.
Then you'll be able to manage 2 million a month.
not live on 2 million.
Manage 2 million a month.
Wow.
So guys, what do you think are the biggest challenges?
In
challenges you face when you need to save?
Unexpected expenses.
Yeah.
Health, medical bills.
No, medical bills are not unexpected. The unexpected that really pisses me off is you get home and the generator you put off yourself last night refuses to work on. And when you're running in to quickly do some work, send a mail, and then you call the guy and he tells you, Oga, this thing just spoiled. How much? Now 6,000. What? Then you give me transportation, 1,000 to buy it. Then my workmanship, 3,000. That's 10,000 gone.
Yeah.
Why?
Or the parts they buy, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
Go back and change.
Of which that 10,000 was supposed to follow you for like 2 days.
I can tell you, this last week,
I
had to buy a new pumping machine. 80K.
I remember you saying that.
My washing machine got bad.
Oh my
The
God.
guy said 40K. By the time he went to the market and came back, I added another 45K.
Can imagine.
So in just one weekend, 160K. I'm still crying.
You know?
And
And
you
I
know,
had
Those are
to
the
service
real
my car
unexpected.
because you have to service your car. Even that one was planned for, but at least you plan for
You know,
that.
and talking about expenses, how to manage your expenses. One thing I've done recently, which helped me, is that I don't drive my car outside my area. I come with a cab in the morning,
Yeah.
and oftentimes I go back with a train,
yeah.
and that
Oh.
saves me the monthly costs on repairing either your tie rod or changing something, because your tires,
Your
you don't have tires in Lagos.
Yeah.
You just keep changing that every month,
Yeah.
and every month expenses go up. So I don't do that. I drive less nowadays. It saves me, gives me that sanity, and saves some money on that in that
I
area.
don't even need to try that. Yeah, I know it will save you money. Because I mean, you know, if you think of what we've been saying now, trying to save. Now imagine unexpected expenses against your target savings for
Your
the
2
month.
million. That your 2
Yeah,
million.
You know?
Imagine you plan to save a certain amount, then your car is coming from nowhere, your pumping machine is coming
pumping
from
machine,
nowhere. You now have
and
to,
this,
dip into your savings, right? And it just distorts the circle you get. So
and unfortunately, your child just comes, Daddy,
Capri Sun.
the streaming whatever is off. You're like, you are not watching anything. You speak and you're or the cable
Daddy,
channel
there's no
is
more
off.
juice.
You don't have juice to one more drink water.
Drink
my
water.
But we face a lot of challenges, and that's the reality. Unexpected expenses, like you guys have said. Even sometimes, but the reality is that we must also live life. Let's remember that one. So that at the end of the day, what happens is at least you went through life as life went through you. But these challenges are there. You can go there and then they'll come back and say, I remember my kid, I just given her allowance and everything, and then there was extra. And then she needed to get one software for her school. And because there was extra money, she just sends me a message, Daddy, can I then you're not like, this money, what we planned it for. You say, but I need to do this, and I'm like, okay, we have saved it for someone. But what do you do? But those things come. But
You have to prioritize now.
Yeah, you have to
now
prioritize.
Prioritize.
But those challenges come, or the kids, or you wake up in the morning and then the child is ill, and HMO that you are on, and it does happen. HMO that you are on, which is basic, because you really don't fall ill, and then you have to have that major expense, and then you have to pay from your pocket. It also reduces your ability to save or invest. But being dedicated at the end of the day for me is at least putting something aside every month, even if you can't meet your target. Make sure that you at least keep something aside on a monthly basis. So if your target is like 20% of what you earn, then what you can do is on that month you say, well, these expenses have come, I'll put 5% aside. One thing I also want to say about challenges is for those who have small businesses and think that the business and them are the same.
I think that's a discussion for we need to discuss.
No, but you need to
is-
decide at the end of, as a business person, that you pay yourself a salary. And not just think that the cash is there so I can just dip into it, because some of those cash is also to reinvest in the business and grow. Some of it is to save towards maybe there's another opportunity. So just tell yourself it's a challenge, but pay yourself a salary, because if you were working, how much would I earn?
What you're saying is very important. And like Ogieva said, we need to come at it another day, because you said it's simple. Tell yourself. But at times you tell yourself your business is different from you. But yourself doesn't listen. You become stubborn and you keep digging in. So you need to give guidance and the steps on how to make sure that your business functions, how to, regulate your expenses and caution yourself, and the steps to take, because many people run their businesses aground simply because of this. It's my business. I'm the one running around this and that. The money is mine. I'm the one doing all the work, especially when it's a one man.
Person, exactly.
I once worked for a business like that, and believe me, every month the owners decided this was the salary that they were going to receive, and when they pay the salary, immediately it goes there, they transfer it to the house. Straight. Because they've looked at what the house expenses and other things. Any other thing is about the business, and it's really, really important that you decide from the onset when you decide to go out on and do business. Pay yourself a salary. You don't know what it does, because from that also you could also save and invest in other areas of
discipline yourself,
opportunities to generate new funds. I guess we're coming towards the end. Ogieva.
Yeah. So I mean, with all what we've said, so let's hear you guys. So, as in what ways can families support each other in achieving this?
The phone line has been ringing for a while.
Someone wants to talk to us.
Yeah, I think so. Let's just speak that. Right. Hello, caller. Oops, sorry, I kept you waiting for so long. But do call us back. 0809.
I think we still have like 2 or 3 minutes.
Yes, 5913.
No, 6.
0809 191 3913. Hello, caller. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. Thank you for saying good morning. It's part of what I want to say also, and I called before. My name is Ibrahim.
Okay.
When we are in the school in those days, as I'm speaking, I'm supposed to also say good morning. It's part of the problem we are having. So we are lacking that culture. So when we are in school in those days, let me say from those 80s and 90s, there is a particular subject we have. I think it was thank God I can remember GSS. I think it's GSS to GS3. We call that subject. There's 2 years. One is integrated science. Yes. Okay. There's one is home economy. Yes. But I want to ask now. You know, sometimes my children will be talking about subject, or sometimes I will ask them. I have not seen them calling integrated science or mentioning home economy. In our time, home economy taught us, you know, how to manage from home, how to live from home. Not now that we are in SMS or business, something like that. We study home economy to live. And integrated science is something that taught us in those days. We started losing, you know, wristwatch, how to join something together, how to school, how to tie something together. But we don't have it now in our culture, in our education system now. Because what I'm trying to say is that, like home economic now, in those days, you know, there will have some question that when you rent a room, not even a house or a flat or whatever that you're trying to do now, they will say, what are the first thing you need to get into that room?
So it helps you plan your life.
Some of them we take fun.
All right, then.
We take chew.
All right, Ibrahim. Thank you so much for your call this morning. I think we have another caller. If you can do that real quick in like 1 minute. Yeah. And yes, and if I am right, this is Comrade Akpan.
Good morning, sir.
Hello, morning. Of this WhatsApp call. I think rain is disturbing him on the other side. He's not connecting. Let's bring this home.
So quickly, I think what they've done today, at least I still have a few nephews and nieces that are in school. They've joined home economics, integrated science into what you call, I think it's basic science. And it's still being taught, really. Okay. But how can we support each other to achieve our goals?
Yeah. No, go on.
To achieve our goals.
I think
so
can I?
You start.
You know, so I think you're
the one that can spend. Me, I can spend 2 million, so we already know how to manage our goals.
I think if you all set common goals, you know, discuss them openly. To
all right, sorry, a real quick one here. Okay. Someone says we focus too much on families, you know, households. What about singles? And this is what it says.
Yeah, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
This economy that we are talking about this morning, I beg, when I streamline and to marriage, people will never marry. How they go take organize their marriage in this economy?
Don't worry, we'll go there.
Next week.
Next week. Don't worry. Next week.
We've spoken about families for the last 2
days. So
so we will move to singles for the next.
Yeah, and I think Joanna will be in the studio at that
time. Then it will be 4 of us. We'll be really hitting. And then there'll be 1 woman.
But please let's remember that while you're talking about family, the nuclear family, you're going to speak about the singles. Yeah. Talk about the polygamous families as well later on.
We'll do that.
We'll do that, right?
Yes. So that's why it's everyday money
matters.
It matters to everyone.
Let's bring this home right now. And it's been a fun time this morning. I'm sure a lot of people have been informed and just learn. Take a leaf from all that has been said this morning.
Yeah.
Uade?
MPL 26.5. But we'll survive. We've always survived. I know that interest rates in Nigeria have hit 40. In my lifetime, I've known about 40% interest rates.
And
but
we survived.
We did. We're still there. Challenging times, but like we said earlier, let's manage on our needs and not our wants or our haves.
All right.
Have a great day, everyone.
I think you all should just be in line. Set common goals together, do everything together, pull together. And with that said, you can always catch up with Everyday Money Matters on Spotify and other podcast platforms. So,
and you can also join us on
Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Spaces.
That's it. And just in case you're all concerned, because that's what we do every time. We're concerned about how we make money. We want to make more money. We want to listen. BIG told us one thing. The reason we are where we are today is what BIG said. He said the more money we talk about, the more problems we see. Maybe it's time we stop looking for money.